The TOEIC program presents Principles of Quality Assessments. Why assessment matters. In today's competitive global market, effectively communicating with colleagues, customers, and partners around the world is essential. Now, more than ever, having an English-proficient workforce is vital for business success. In fact, English is spoken by 1 in 4 people globally and is the most widely used language in the world. How can you ensure that your workforce has the English language skills required to succeed? In order to build a strong, capable workforce, decision-makers such as human resource managers need to be able to make confident hiring, training, and promotion decisions. Additionally, educational institutions need to ensure graduates are prepared for the global workforce. The consequences of making the wrong decision can be costly for your organization, both monetarily and in terms of growth. When making informed decisions, it is important to gather the most reliable and accurate data. In some cases, like with English language proficiency, a measurement tool such as an assessment is required. The type of assessment you use determines the kind of information you will receive. This is why the assessment you choose matters. You have many options for measuring English language proficiency. But how do you know which is the best assessment method? The key attributes of any quality assessment are validity, fairness, and reliability. Validity is the extent to which the test scores are appropriate for a particular purpose. When we say fair, we mean assessments that are standardized, unbiased, and accessible to anyone, anywhere, regardless of gender, race, ethnicity, or disability. An assessment is reliable when the test scores are consistent across administrations. We at Educational Testing Service have over 70 years of experience and expertise developing valid, fair, and reliable assessments for educators and learners around the world. Every year, ETS develops, administers, and scores 50 million tests in over 180 countries. A commitment to rigorous research, 100% quality, fairness, and equity in education informs everything we do. In 1979, ETS developed the TOEIC program, now one of the world's leading English language assessments for the workplace. The TOEIC tests include features that any quality language assessments should have. These include a 4-skill approach, an evidence-centered test design, standardized and rigorous test security and administration, a consistent and reliable scoring process, and client support services ensure score users understand test scores.
The cycle of communication in any language is made up of sending and receiving messages. When we send messages, we use our speaking and writing or productive skills. When we receive messages, we use our receptive skills, listening and reading. In order to gain a full picture of one's language proficiency, you must measure all 4 of these skills. The TOEIC program offers accurate measures of listening, reading, speaking, and writing, providing you with a complete assessment of English language skills. Listening and reading, the receptive skills, can easily be measured through multiple choice questions. For the productive skills, however, there are additional factors to consider. When we use our productive skills to communicate, we have an audience. In order to evaluate a person's speaking and writing skills, they must produce spoken and written messages. Unlike multiple choice responses that have a single correct answer, speaking and writing test questions are open-ended. This means each question could have several right answers. These open-ended questions are evaluated on several different kinds of criteria, such as grammar, vocabulary, task fulfillment, and appropriateness. In a professional work environment, an individual may use productive skills to write emails, give presentations, or exchange information with customers or colleagues. We want to help you make sure your employees have the skills necessary to perform these tasks at work.
One of the most important factors when choosing an assessment is test design. Here at ETS, we use a methodology called evidence-centered design for developing all of our assessments. This methodology ensures that the information gathered from the assessment is consistent with the underlying purpose. In other words, using evidence found through research to design a test ensures the test will measure what it is intended to measure. This process helps make certain that test results are consistent, reliable, fair, and valid, which is exactly what you need to make confident decisions. Test questions, or items, are carefully written by assessment developers who are experts in their given subject. Every item goes through a rigorous content and fairness review, Reviews are completed by multiple assessment developers before the test is assembled. After the test is administered, each item undergoes a lengthy statistical analysis to ensure that it functions as intended. Each question on a test provides data that can be used to evaluate a test taker's skills. In general, the more data collected on an assessment, the more accurate the results. When choosing a test, it is important to consider not only the number of questions, but also the different question types. The TOEIC program takes both into consideration. It uses an appropriate number of carefully chosen questions on each assessment to collect the right amount of data for an accurate result. ETS assessment developers use evidence-centered design to carefully choose question types that directly measure the skills and abilities that are needed for English in the global workplace. In addition, ETS researchers continue to support the use of TOEIC assessments through ongoing, extensive research.
But test design is only one of the factors that ensures consistent, reliable, fair, and valid data. Test administration and security are also very important factors. Standardized testing procedures ensure that test takers have the same testing experience no matter the place and time. Rigorous test security guidelines ensure that no test takers are unfairly advantaged or disadvantaged, and that test scores remain fair and comparable across administrations. ETS is a leader in test security and continues to refine protocols for detecting and monitoring security threats. In fact, many of the test security practices pioneered by ETS have become the industry standard and have been adopted by other companies and organizations around the globe.
Once test takers are finished taking the test, those tests need to be scored. The scoring process is a critical factor when evaluating a quality assessment. Listening and reading skills are measured using multiple-choice questions, with which the objectivity of scores is certain. The scoring of multiple-choice answer sheets is automated, and quality control procedures ensure accuracy. Speaking and writing skills, however, are measured with open-ended questions. This means that test takers are asked to produce spoken and written responses that must then be evaluated. The TOEIC program employs qualified human raters to evaluate TOEIC speaking and writing responses. TOEIC speaking and writing test scoring is a rigorous process built to ensure the most fair and valid results for every response. Unlike an interview test, for example, where evaluators may exhibit unfair biases, TOEIC test taker responses are randomly and anonymously assigned to raters, effectively minimizing bias. Each TOEIC speaking and writing test is evaluated by no less than 6 highly qualified raters. All TOEIC raters are required to have specific experiences and education. In order to qualify as a TOEIC certified rater, all applicants must complete a certification test. Each rater is qualified, certified, trained, and calibrated to each item type before they are able to score. For each scoring session, at least once per day, a rater must pass a scoring accuracy test, referred to as calibration, to ensure they are aligned with the scoring guidelines. Raters who do not pass calibration on any given scoring session are not allowed to score. TOEIC certified raters are also regularly monitored by scoring leaders to help assure complete score accuracy.
The complete solution. The TOEIC test design, test administration, security, and scoring processes give you the complete solution by ensuring that test results are truly valid, fair, and reliable. It is important to note that test results are only valid, fair, and reliable when they are used appropriately. The TOEIC program is dedicated to assisting score users with understanding and interpreting test scores through tools and local customer support, including assistance on setting cut scores or benchmarks. TOEIC test scores can be used to prepare students for the global workplace and support informed hiring, training, or promotion decisions. Your choice of assessment not only impacts your organization, but also builds the workforce of the future. 68% of global executives say that English is necessary to succeed in global markets. Prepare your organization for success by using the TOEIC program, the world's leading English language assessment for the workplace. To find out more about the TOEIC program, contact your local ETS preferred network member. Because for decisions that matter to you, the assessment you choose matters. Contact your local EPN member by visiting www.toeicglobal.com.